Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. It is so good to see you all. Want to also say hello to everyone who's watching online. There are about 60 or so folks online. We are so glad to see everyone here, both those that are watching virtually and those who are in person. I have to say, though, to those who are watching virtually, you are missing the energy and the love that we see, but there's an amazing conversation taking place online. I'd ask you all to join me in a round of applause for the classified professionals who are helping with the check-in, our facilities, Sean and Eric and everyone, Don, who comes together to make this possible. Certainly Janelli and Ira. I mean, there's so many people who make this possible. This is a huge undertaking to offer Convocation both in person and virtually, facilities and maintenance with the setup. I mean, there's so many people to thank. If I forgot someone, please charge it to my mind and not my heart. But let's give a round of applause again for everyone involved, catering, for putting together this event. This event is so important to set the tone for the year and make sure you all have all of the information you need to support our students and our community throughout the year. It's so important that we actually have one of our amazing board members with us, Bernie Reinerson. Please give Bernie a round of applause. Our theme for this year is You Belong Here. That means you, that means our students, that means the nearly 50 new employees that we're going to welcome into San Diego City College. We had our first meeting with our new employees yesterday. Thank you to Itza and Don Long and our professional development coordinators who put together that event. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd like to now invite the leaders of our constituency groups to join us. I know I saw Sean, and so if Sean would join us, we're going to go out of order because I am not sure. There she is. Actually, we're going to start with Maria Jose. She's waving at me like, I'm here. Maria Jose, our president of the Academic Senate, will start with our welcome. And then she'll introduce Sean, and Sean will introduce Jocelyn, and Jocelyn will introduce Diego.
Hi, welcome everyone. I was gonna change my t-shirt, but I'm wearing the other one because you know what? We are campus ready too. So you belong here, we're campus ready, we're ready to start, we're ready to take in all our students and all our colleagues and just share the passion that we have to support each other. So I just wanna congratulate you for being here. Tell you thank you for all the work you have been doing in the past 2 years. It has not been easy, but we have survived and we have thrived in many, many ways. So I hope you're excited to come back. I'm excited to be here. As always, you're always welcome at the Academic Senate. They are public meetings and we love your feedback. So have an amazing semester and we're here for you. You belong here. Gracias, gracias. And I guess I am passing it down to Sean. Yes, classified professional, my colleague.
Good morning, everyone. Everyone here and everyone on the internet. Welcome to a great start to a new semester. I am your Classified Senate President, Sean Ryan, and I'd like to share our 22-23 classified leadership. We have joining us this year as a VP is Zinnia Torres. Joan Taylor is our secretary, and Sal Guzman is our treasurer. So We have an awesome team supporting the work that Classified do here. And what we do as the Classified Senate is we're here to facilitate communication on campus. So we are here to ensure that we share information both from the college council and the campus level down to classified in your departments, and sharing up from departments and projects you may be working on up to the campus level. We are a campus organization, and we're going to beginning having this semester open office hours monthly. And I encourage everyone from the campus community, if you want to drop in and kind of share anything that you'd like the Classified to be in on, if you like to hear our visions and the work that we're doing, we have open office hours. We're also here to support classified representation on committees on campus. And we're also here to help with working in collaboration with the Professional Development Committee to offer some great professional development opportunities for classified this year. So welcome, everyone. And now I would like to introduce our wonderful SPA representative, Jocelyn Hill.
Good morning. It's so wonderful to see all of you. It's a blessing to be here this morning on campus, one of the beautiful campus in our district. And we have our amazing president and our executive administrators, faculty, classified professionals, and SPA members. I stand today representing our amazing supervisors and professional administrators. And we are so excited that we get to support not only our campus and our students, but we get to support our supervisor, and we support each other. Our theme, our president's vision is you belong here. So for students, it's your time. You do belong here. For our supervisors and our campus community, it's our time. It's our time to continue to show up as we do. It's our time to support each other, to wrap our arms around each other, to show the city love. It's our time. We are here today just to be able to say, we did it. We continue to do it. And I encourage you that you continue to do it. Supervisors, yes, we are in transition. So look out for your email. There will be information regarding who is your next leader. I was so privileged to be able to serve you for 2 years. But my time has come to an end. So I'm looking forward to our next representative. Like I said, please look out for your email. And we do have monthly meetings where we get to come together to hear each other's concerns, to support each other, to support our classified professionals that we also belong to. We have amazing classified president, Sean Ryan, who makes sure we're all included. Our campus is inclusionary. And we're so wonderful and blessed to be here. And I just want to say to all of you, fall 22 is the best yet to come. Have a good day. God bless you. I forgot my last duty. And I want to introduce our wonderful Associate Student Government President, Diego. Please give him a city love welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Alexander. All right. Thank you, President Shabazz. Good morning, City College, and welcome to the new school year. My name is Diego Bethea, the president of Associated Student Government and student trustee. First and foremost, I would like to thank San Diego City College for electing me as a student president, associate student president, and placing their confidence in me. My pledge to them is to continue to advocate for them at the local and state national levels. HG's motto is students first. I'd also like to thank my HG family for believing in me, and empowering me to be successful in my HG journey. From treasurer to president, I was so inspired and discovered my purpose and cultivated my passion for service. for service to others. And sorry. Thank you. And was able to cultivate my purpose to serve others. My experience have helped me to shape my values and prepared me to lead all students at San Diego City College, and has proved to me that I belong here. To the students here, please allow me to repeat that I belong here, and so do you. It's been said, God always places you where you belong. Nothing is by accident or coincidence. Let this set in for a minute. You have arrived at City College, which is not by accident or coincidence. You are here because you belong here. I learned through my journey at City College, it truly does take a village, and at City College, it's my village, it's your village, it's our village. We all belong with this village of love and support. As students, I will come to know that City College is more than just a place where higher education is attained. It's a place where your transformation begins, and it's exactly where you belong. It's a home and a supportive community where there are no limits to what you can achieve. I look forward to being an essential part of your educational journey at City. Finally, I would like to ask for a favor from everyone here. It's a small favor, but one that will have an enormous impact. Will you please promote ASG membership in all your classes during the first week of the new semester? We are in need of students interested in being a part of something truly big at City College. At the first meeting of the fall 2022 semester on August 22nd, ASG will begin the process of filling crucial roles that were left vacant due to graduation, transferring, and pandemic fatigue. I would greatly appreciate partnering with you because each of you are the faces of San Diego City College, and each of you are the faces of San Diego College and have daily contact with students. So may I count on you all. It's important to ASG, to the success of ASG president operations, and to all students at City College who ASG advocates for. I appreciate you all. I wish each of you a successful new school year, and look forward to your support at our ASG events throughout the school year. Thank you. Go Knights.
Come on, we can do better than that. It is not easy, folks, to stand up here and give a speech. He is our future. He's the reason that we're here. Diego's going to be a great leader, and he'll be among the contingent of students and faculty and staff that we're going to be taking to Africa. I'm going to talk about that a little later. I want to cue someone up. His name is the corner man. He's back there talking to our vice president of instruction. He didn't know I was going to invite him up to speak, but a part of our goals and my vision as a president is that we are a learning culture campus, and we are a learning culture campus. As part of that, everyone has an opportunity to get the book, Turning on the Lights. And I'd like to invite Raphael, the corner man, up to share a few words as we intend to be a learning culture here at San Diego City College. Raphael, also, we can do better than that. Let's give Raphael a round of applause. Raphael, will you share a few words?
Good morning. Let's try this again. This is Convocation 2022. Good morning. This is a new day. This is a new day because yes, at City College, the epicenter, the Learning Culture College, starting this fall, the lights are being turned on for students. The lights are being turned on. We all know, we know there's a culture for learning in every institution of higher education. There's a culture. We know culture. We have many cultures here. We celebrate culture. When something's part of our culture, there's things that we do. We're part of many. But there's a culture for learning. There's a learning culture. Starting this fall, and I'm very grateful to our fearless leader, Dr. Shabazz, our leaders, our VPs, my dean, Dr. Letty, for having the vision and inspiration to turn on the lights, not just in a class, in a school, for the whole college, for everyone, because we're turning on the lights, and that culture for learning, it's no longer acceptable, and not at city, not my city, for any student to be in the dark when it comes to this thing called learning culture. And just to be very specific, the two parts, so we have the same conversation. One part is to know how to approach the learning. Imagine knowing how. Yes. But the second part and more important part is having that mindset for learning. Having that mindset. Give me a student who has a strong mindset for learning. I'm going to show you a successful student because they're going to pick up how to approach it. But now it's no longer a secret, and not at City. And the books are there, but online on turningonthelights.com. So I recommend the book. Those are City College stories. Everywhere that book is picked up, City College is there, because they were stories from my students. By the way, one of those students from City, oh yeah, she's an astronaut. She's an astronaut. That shows what great potential our students have. But that book has almost 40 student success stories from City. It has a City name written all over it. It was born at City in my MESA program. But online, there's training videos. There are training videos available for everyone, free online. Please, and I invite you to be inspired, to have students, to share them, to have students know that these training videos exist. I want to invite you, so please dig in and pass it on. Pass it on. There's no longer a reason. I don't want to see a City College student come to my MESA program who's been referred by someone who doesn't know about the learning culture. I don't want to see that. Every student, from the time they apply at City and go through matriculation and work through student services, there has to be the message, turning on the lights, please. But I want to emphasize it in this way. I invite you to join me in saying, sí se puede. Sí se puede. But be very careful, because sí se puede is missing the cómo se puede. The sí se puede, yes, it can be done, is missing the how it can be done. It's called turning on the lights. It's called learning culture. So now at City College, not only can we say sí se puede, we can say cómo se puede, and that's turning on the lights. So thank you, Dr. Shabazz. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful semester and enjoy the learning culture experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Raphael. Everyone knows by now that San Diego City College sits on the land, the unceded land of the Kumeyaay Nation. I want to thank Robbie and the team that worked on our land acknowledgement, and I'm going to read it now. The San Diego City College acknowledges that we gather on unceded Kumeyaay land. We value indigenous knowledge and cultural worldview. We commit to providing transformative educational experiences for all campus members and guests as we examine practices that perpetuate harm against indigenous, Black, brown, and other marginalized communities. We pledge to sustain a meaningful and respectful relationship with the Kumeyaay and other indigenous communities as we honor this beautiful land together. I want to thank all of the speakers who came after me, and let's get into the updates. Again, welcome to the Fall Convocation 2022. We've accomplished so much, as you've heard a number of other speakers say. For those of you who haven't had a chance to see the amazing mural projects throughout the campus, I urge you to begin with the one in the cafeteria that celebrates the 50th anniversary of Chicano Studies. It is an amazing mural that I can't believe that every time I look at the mural, it tells a very different story. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's in the cafeteria, the back wall. We're working on some furniture in that area. There are also 2 murals in the parking garage and a host of other murals that are in the works on campus. I want to thank those who helped it to put those into place. We continue to build connections with our community with a number of open houses. We've had events in our recording studio with Michael and the music program, a number of events dealing with the basic needs of our students. We continue on Tuesday to have hunger action days, the night's food pantry, and a number of other accomplishments, to include a number of scholarships. We've given out more scholarships this year in the history of our college, and we're concluding the year moving into the fall with planning a housing project right here at San Diego City College. So yes, we are going to have student housing here eventually at San Diego City College. And all of these many accomplishments were because of the great dedication of our classified professionals, our supervisors, our wonderful faculty, and our administrators. So let's give a round of applause for all of the many accomplishments. John Parker and his team will be really bringing back the facilities master plan committee so that we have faculty, classified, and other representation on the housing project that is currently underway. All of you by now should have seen the president's vision. Just want to read them. There are 6 points. They align with our educational master plan and our planning here at the college. And that very simply is that San Diego City College is a leader in creating a learning culture that improves student success through social justice, educational equity, and academic excellence. We share the City College love, I know you all felt it today, by creating a caring and compassionate connections with everyone. And we're going to be talking about some of these safe spaces that we're building out on campus. For those of you who haven't been into some of our spaces lately, there are some wonderful opportunities to visit the Pride Center, the Veterans Center, and various other centers on campus where work has been underway throughout the pandemic to welcome our students back on campus. And when they get here, we want to provide high-touch, high-quality pathways for students to complete their degree or certificates, transfer, or to enter into the workforce. And we do this by promoting professional development, talent development amongst you. So you're going to hear about the 50+ people who we're either in the process of hiring or who have been promoted as we continue to hire throughout the fall. And in doing so, we're bringing additional people to continue to look at our curriculum and student services in order to support a diverse group of community learners. We prioritize dismantling systems that negatively impact our students, and we value partnerships and philanthropy to bring the necessary resources that we need to do the work that we do. You've already heard about the learning culture and this notion of turning on the light, which is something we're all charged to do, whether we work in student services, whether we work in instruction, whether we work in facilities or maintenance. The fact of the matter is that we know that our classified professionals are very often the first people who come into contact with our students. So today, for the first time in my 5 years at the college, we actually closed the entire student services offices so that we could be inclusive of both our classified professionals and our faculty getting the same updates real time. And so for those in the financial aid office, that means I've closed financial aid twice in the last month. And that's very serious. As we go into the fall, you're going to see us close some of our offices on Fridays at 1 o'clock so we can have meetings. If you don't close, how do you have meetings? How do you have trainings? And so I'm looking forward to Marciano and student services being able to have all student services meetings, because certainly as I travel around the campus, the number one thing that I hear is, oh, I didn't know we were doing that. And so we're making intentional efforts to make sure that you know what's going on campus, beginning with closing the campus like today. Number 2 is just sharing the City College love. We have the Welcome Center. If you haven't seen it, stop by it. It's still open right now, run largely by Edwidge and the team and our student ambassadors. Student ambassadors are a very big part of what we what we do here, talked about the Veterans Center, Dora and the staff in the Veterans Center. Matter of fact, we just made an offer to a new Veterans Counselor. It'll be one of the 50 positions that we're bringing in. The Pride Hub is underway. We received a grant to expand our services to folks who are in the Pride community. City Scholars is in a new location and continue to do a host of other workshops. There's a lot of work going on in the S building and the HVAC. Want to make sure that all of our science faculty are safe and healthy as we put nearly $1 million to upgrade the HVAC system in the S building. We continue to be open to what does the next 10 years of education look like. That includes working remote. We've done some amazing things in TikTok and social media, in having software that allow us to communicate with students. Now, we know a large majority of our students are not 18-year-olds straight out of high school, which means that many of them are working 1, 2, or even 3 jobs. Many of them, like us, have children. So we have an opportunity as a college to say, maybe our work day isn't from 8 to 5. Maybe we have some people working at home in the evening. Our wonderful counselors have been doing appointments on Saturdays. So we're looking at this notion of flexible work schedules, which includes people being able to work from home at least 1 day a week for those offices that can. Now, the reality is that there are some offices where people can't work from home. It's hard to keep the grounds up from home. It's hard to print the copies of your materials from home. It's hard to deliver the supplies from home. So we know that there are offices where people can't work from home, but we continue to have those discussions. I was in a meeting on Monday for the Black Student Success Day, which was very well attended by faculty, classified, everyone across the campus. There were about 130 students who stayed throughout the day, and I got to jump between the sessions. And when I went to the classified session, our very own Jocelyn Hill, Dr. Hill, said, it would be great if we had massage chairs. And she said that. And I said, Jocelyn, guess what? We have 10 massage chairs because we care about your mental health. It's real, the effects of the pandemic. So the first massage chair as we speak is being delivered to financial aid. There are 2 down in the cafeteria. We're going to order 5 more because it can be stressful. I know I have stressful days. I know you have stressful days. And so we continue to sponsor events like Mental Health Mondays and other activities because we really do care about you. We care about your mental health. We care about your well-being. And so, yeah, we use some HERF funds to order some massage chairs. And if I have to explain that to the federal government, I'll be ready to do that. That doesn't mean you can take a nap in the massage chair, though. There will be no pillows or covers near the massage chair. So let's dive into the high-touch, high-quality pathways. We continue to increase the number of associate degrees, associate degree for transfer, and certificates of achievement. That's because of the great work of our wonderful faculty, classified administrators, and our campus community as we figured out ways to support students even during a pandemic. And so that speaks to the great and wonderful educational program that we offer here at San Diego City College. Let's look at a typical City College student. 50% female, 2% non-resident, 6% are dual enrolled students. It's usually our concurrent enrollment students. 59% are 24 years or older. 87% are part-time. And you're going to hear me throughout the year talk about enhanced and accelerated pathways for part-time students. The average San Diego City College student is registered in less than 6 units. At that pace, it's going to take a student nearly 10 years to complete their associate's degree. Now, if we could get that 6-unit student to register in 8 units, it would cut down that time in half, nearly 4 or 5 years. But the question is, are our classes, are our student support services set up for a part-time student? I think if we were being honest, we would say that they're not. And so we'll be having conversations with the chairs and the deans and our faculty and student services to say, how do we build out more services on Saturday? How do we build out more services in the evening? How do we build out more services virtually? Our enrollment is down. It finally caught up with us. For the first 2 years, we pretty much were stagnant. We were doing good overall, but the pandemic is real and the effects of the pandemic is real. But I would say even more than that, we have a number of people who aren't in their regular position. So I call this the Luke effect. Anybody know who Luke Machaka is? Right? He was our outreach coordinator. Clarissa is doing a wonderful job in his place. But I can pinpoint the decline in enrollment to Luke being stolen from the district. And so that's an example of a number of people. If you are working out of class, could you raise your hand? If you're working in a position, well, if you could see the hands and the number of people, because we're in this massive hiring phase, there are a lot of people not working in their regular position. And so that creates a challenge as you get people trained, as they learn, and as we try to hire permanent people. And so we're definitely looking at what are we doing for outreach and recruitment. And frankly, that isn't just Clarissa's job. That's not just the outreach ambassadors' jobs. We all are outreach ambassadors. So when's the last time we went to one of our feeder high schools? When's the last time we went to a church or a synagogue or a mosque that's in Southeast San Diego? So there's a huge opportunity for you to get involved in outreach, to share the amazing programs and services, because largely people make the decision to come to City College because of each of you. So again, as we look at these high touch, high quality pathways, which is the third item, we really are looking at building accelerated paths for part-time students, getting back into off-site classes. There was a time where we offered classes at places like NASCO, which is a very large employer there. The shipyard is what they're known as. City governments and other places like the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, that have large numbers of employees that may not necessarily want to come on campus initially, but if we offer 1 or 2 classes there, they'd fall in love with City College like all of us did, and we convinced them to come onto campus. We're also working on expanding the Promise program, which is the program that allows recent high school graduates to come for free. Now, I don't know about you all, but when I was a freshman, it was a blur to figure out how to register. And yes, we have amazing counselors. We have amazing student ambassadors who help with that. But wouldn't it be easy if we knew that a freshman was going to come in and they were going to take math, and they were going to take English, and they were going to take an elective, that we just handed them their schedule, prepackaged, helps with enrollment. You don't have to worry about your classes filling. And then the student could have maybe one choice in an elective. And so we're pursuing that to see what that looks like. They piloted this at Casunas River College, and what they saw is that they increased the success amongst their Black and their Latino males immediately, because those students already had classes. They were intentional about who were teaching those classes, and those students succeeded. So we're looking at that as a model. The deans and the chairs are working on that right now. We continue to look at concurrent enrollment, which is offering 2 or 3 classes in our feeder high schools. That's going very well. I want to thank Genevieve and Clarissa and the entire team who help with concurrent enrollment. And we have a lot of work to do around career education. I want to congratulate Dr. Sasha Knox, who was just promoted as the Associate Dean of Strong Workforce. Look for more social media brochures. We have amazing career education programs, and we have to be intentional about promoting those to the community. Speaking about the community, we don't have a featured speaker. What we do for Convocation today, our featured speakers will be our students. So we're going to have a student panel shortly where you'll hear from our students, because it's important to know the challenges that they still face as a result of the pandemic. Many of them living in households where there isn't a quiet place for them to study. Maybe they don't have Wi-Fi. We had a scholarship banquet right on this A building patio the first time ever for high school students. We gave out nearly $90,000 for high school students. When I arrived, I was shocked that we would give out $300,000 worth of scholarships for continuing students, but we had nothing for high school students. Don't they need money too? Well, I want to thank Roxanne and Clarissa and the entire team who put together the high school scholarship program. We received a generous award, nearly $90,000 from Jim and Jan Senegal. We all know who they are, right? Costco, an alum of City College. And we were able to award nearly $90,000 worth of scholarships to high school students, to include $50,000 to 10 students who received a $2,500 scholarship and a $2,500 MacBook. Thank you, Dr. Parker, for making that happen. But when we passed out those 10 MacBooks last week, I was nearly for the first time brought to tears, because every one of those 10 students said that they had got through high school without a computer. So their first computer in their life was provided to them by San Diego City College. And so congratulations to those 10 students who are here. We're going to hear from our students. The most important job I have certainly is student success. That's all of our job. But after that, the most important job I have is hiring. And I'm happy to say that we're bringing in nearly 50 people to San Diego City College. On the screen should be those who were promoted or who are new to our campus. The vice presidents are going to introduce some of them later, but I always get this question: what is the number? Nearly 16 classified, 5 SPA, 21 faculty, and 6 managers will be joining us this fall here at San Diego City College, and we're likely to be hiring into the fall. In addition to hiring, when you get here, there are a number of wonderful professional development opportunities on campus. Just want to run through some of them. Yesterday, we had our new Hire Institute. We have career pathways, because many of you, if you're like me, you don't know what you want to do when you grow up. And so we created a vehicle to help people learn about becoming a faculty member or becoming an administrator, and a host of other things for those who aspire for career development. And that includes our adjuncts. You're going to see us offer more workshops on how to go from being an adjunct to a full-time faculty member. We'll launch our second cohort of job shadowing, where the vice presidents and myself will select 3 or 4 people who'll be able to shadow us for the entire semester and see how the governance works, the decision-making works for the college. So be on the lookout for an email about that. We continue to build out our Classified Professionals Week with Sean and the Classified Senate. Our wonderful faculty and classified professionals continue to offer an array of flex activities. There are so many opportunities, folks, for professional development. But the one thing you have to do, because there are a lot of folks here with advanced degrees, doctorates and masters and bachelors and associate's degree. But in all of my classes, I can guarantee none of us took a class in mind reading. And so let your supervisor know if you desire. Maybe you're working in an office and you want to be a supervisor. Maybe you want to be a manager. Maybe you want to be a full-time faculty member. Let us know. We are committed to your professional development. And under the leadership of Don Long and Dean Robbie Ewell, there is a professional development unit who offers all of these programs. So as we talk about dismantling these systems, you all know the programs that we have, beginning with the social justice conference. We're going to launch, or we have launched, these student success summits, beginning with the Black Student Success Summit, which happened on Monday. I understand the planning for the Latinx version of it is going to happen during Latinx Heritage Month. There'll be a Pride version. There'll be a version for our disabled students and our veterans. And so this is an opportunity to connect students with available resources. And I can't tell you on Monday how many of our Black students said, I didn't know we had Emoja. I didn't know we had Hubu. I didn't know. And that's no one's fault. That's just, there's an opportunity to come together and talk to our students about the power of EOP&S, about the power of DSPS, and all of our other wonderful programs, tutoring, to say a couple. So there'll be these days where we target our special populations, making sure that they're connected to our amazing resources. We continue to put resources into financial aid. Everybody say financial aid. Speaking of that, I'd like to introduce our new director of financial aid, Wendy. Say hi, Wendy. And I'd also like to acknowledge the great work of Susanna, homegrown. She is going to be a director of financial aid one day, and we are also committed to your professional development, Susanna. So there's a host of other things going on to dismantle the systems that negatively impact student success. But the next thing I'd love to present to you all is that for the first time ever, interesting enough, our students are going to actually have .edu email addresses. We finally figured out how to do it as we came out of the PeopleSoft transition. Now, this is going to be what they call, like in the restaurant industry, a soft launch. We realized that many of our faculty members have already built out your Canvas shell, so we didn't want to have you go back and repopulate that stuff. And so over the next month, we'll be rolling out a marketing campaign to let students know that they have a .edu email address as we transition to Microsoft 365. And then beginning in the spring, that'll be the primary email that we use to communicate with our students. We heard you. That's been one of the big, there've been two big things that I've heard since I've been here at San Diego City College. And I believe we've accomplished both of them going into the fall semester. One, closing down offices so that our classified professionals can come to this meeting. Two, our students having .edu email addresses. And so we've been able to accomplish both of those. We also have an Anapisi grant out there to support our Asian Pacific Islander students and faculty and staff. And so we're looking forward to hearing back from that. I want to thank Masa and his leadership with that grant. And speaking of grants, we continue to have an amazing number of partnerships. I just pulled out a couple. Our Alcohol and Other Drug Studies program is partnering with the San Diego Workforce Partnership to bring greater awareness and enroll students in that program. The Transfer Center is partnering with NAVWAR so that our students have paid internships in engineering. The San Diego Housing Commission and our housing grant on campus, Feeding San Diego, and our largest donor outside of Jim Senegal continues to be the Friends of Downtown, who contribute over $50,000 worth of scholarships to our students annually. And if there are any golf players in the audience, now I love to go fishing, so I'm always fishing. I don't play golf, I fish. So I get to watch Bernie Reinerson and John Parker go golf, which is actually going to raise money for San Diego City College, and that'll be next Friday. So if there are any golfers watching online or in person, see John Parker. We'd love to be able to sign you up for that very worthy cause. As we build out our ability to raise funding, you should know that the San Diego City College Foundation has about $3.8 million in trust funds that generate that nearly $300,000 worth of scholarships. However, we don't have a single employee in the foundation. If you look at other community colleges across the state and across the country, those that have that amount of money typically have 3 or 4 employees. And so I get to moonlight as the foundation director, as the fundraiser, on top of being the president of San Diego City College. I'm happy to report for the first time in the history of our foundation, by the end of this fall, we're going to actually have 3 employees in the foundation, beginning with an executive director, a coordinator, and an administrative assistant that will be split half-time between the foundation and half-time between the academic senate. That'll do 2 things. One, I believe having 3 people in the foundation, if we already have 3.8 million, we raise about $1 million a year in our foundation. I believe that those 3 positions will be able to raise upwards of $2 or $3 million annually and be able to cover the cost of their salary. So we're investing those resources, expecting that those individuals will generate another $2 or $3 million that ultimately will lead to resources for the campus and more scholarships for our students. The other thing, how many of you all have children that are maybe in elementary or middle school? I've got a 13-year-old. You've seen my daughter. And when I first arrived, I was sending my daughter during the summer to Balboa Park for science camps, dance camps. Those things cost a lot of money. And I got to thinking, well, if I'm paying Balboa Park and if I'm paying the Jackie Robinson YMCA, why couldn't San Diego City College, like many other colleges across the country, have summer programs for elementary and middle school students? Wouldn't you all rather bring your children right here to work so you didn't have to travel somewhere else to drop them off and then come back to work? Wouldn't you rather that the checks that you write to these summer camps came to San Diego City College students who worked in the summer camps over the summer? And so this coming summer, we're going to launch a series of summer camps. So we've been working with different faculty on campus, Terry and dance, and other areas of the campus, that we're going to launch a college for kids or kids college program where we have summer programs for elementary and middle school students. And if we do this right, something magical, I believe, will happen. People who traditionally would not come on our campus will start to see the things that we offer. And who knows, they may actually register for a class where they're dropping their children off. So again, these are just some of the snapshots of the things that we're working. The vision is on the website. It was in the handouts. I don't know how many of you all liked the Game of Thrones, but in the Game of Thrones, they have this saying that winter is coming. And so that was my heading to switch or transition to the budget slide. Now, we have more money in one-time funds. Everybody say one time. That means it has to be spent now. So we're going to go from having more resources than we've ever had in the history of California community colleges. So you're going to see emails go out from your managers, from John Parker, that says, what do you need? Now, some of you all have gotten very good at this. The science department, we need science kits for students. Yes, let's do it. And then some people they're not used to having money, so they're not as proactive about requesting things. We're going to have about $3 million in HER funds. We have about $3 million in minority serving institution funds. And we're going to have about $6 million in the state block outreach retention funds. If you ever had an idea of what you think could help increase the success of our students to make your job easier, now is the time to work with your manager, to work with your dean, to submit a request so that we can allow you to access these funds. I'm happy to report that the last 2 years, we ended the year with a budget surplus. That's very important because our board of trustees has set as a goal that we have a reserve for the winter of at least 15%. We're working toward that. And so these funds from the federal government and from the state are going to allow us to increase the likelihood that we have a healthy reserve. The notion of this physical cliff, though, is real. We're in this period of what's called hold harmless, which means while we may not be making the enrollment targets that we've set, we're actually being paid from the state the same amount of money. That will eventually come to an end. And so you're going to see us as a college put an enhanced emphasis on enrollment management. So you see that we're hiring a videographer in Caesar's area. It's really for the entire campus, because I don't know about you all, I don't do TikTok, but I hear that's where it's at. People aren't reading anymore, they're watching videos. So we've got to move in that direction of promoting our educational program so that when we get to hold harmless, that we're very well positioned with our enrollment. There's also this period of every 8 to 10 years, it's likely to be a recession. Technically speaking, we're in a recession. I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know what's going to happen with the recession. I don't know what's going to happen with monkeypox. I don't know whether we're going to close next week because COVID is on the rise. But what I can tell you is regardless of what happens, we're going to continue to serve our students in the best way possible. The other thing that's going on is we have an accreditation visit coming up rather soon. And so want to thank Alicia, want to thank Susan, and I want to thank Marco, who are leading our efforts. So there are folks who are going to be tasked with writing different standards. There's going to be a meeting this Friday. I invite you all to come from 12:30 to 2:30 to learn more about where we are with the accreditation process. And I conclude with this. I love this college, and so do you. And so it's so important for us to remember, no matter what's going on in our personal lives, no matter what's going on in the world, please be kind to one another. Let's remember to be kind to one another. Let's remember to ask questions. Y'all don't have a problem with that, but let's remember to ask questions. Let's be patient with one another. Attend college council for your updates. Utilize mental health for your students and for yourself. The college and the district has a program called EAP where we receive 4 or 5 free visits. I regularly talk to my therapist. I'm open about that because many of us come from communities where that's taboo. You can't be going through a global pandemic and not need to speak to a therapist. Many of us lost a loved one. Many of us had setbacks. And so please be kind, please be patient, please continue to be flexible. And lastly, please share the San Diego City College love with one another and our students. Thank you all for listening. It's now my distinct honor and privilege to bring back up to the mic to introduce our students and our student panel, Maria Jose. She's all over the place. I was looking for her over here. She's communications professor, communicating.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone. And yes, that is very true. I am building and maintaining my relationships here on campus because I haven't seen you for like 2 years or more. And I'm just very, very excited to see you all here in person. I love seeing your faces, even with the masks. But now we have something very, very exciting. As Dr. Shabazz said, we have a panel of amazing students. So I want to welcome them to come to the front so we can all see it as a panel. Welcome, students. I think you can, so you can sit on both sides. Just pick your chair. And this is exciting because we get to hear from them, directly from them, because everything we do is for the benefit of them. So now we get to hear what they have to say of their own experiences here at City College with all of us. So we're excited to just learn about their student journey. And as I told them all, I've met some of them, some I couldn't meet before because we're all very busy, but I welcome you. I'm happy you're here. And I told them this is organic. This is more of a conversation with them. So I want them to feel welcome and comfortable and just share as much as they want about themselves. The first thing we're gonna do, I know I'm missing some. Okay, so one is coming. So we have a couple of chairs. So we can wait a couple of seconds, but the first thing I would like for all of you to do, if you can, is to introduce yourselves and give as much or as little as you want, but we want to know who you are. And you can start, we can start on this corner, if that's okay.
You hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Hi, so my name is Noemi Munoz. Usually people call me Naomi because it's easier in English. But we're a family here, so we can call me Mimi. In Mexico, Noemis, they're known as Mimis. So I feel more comfortable with that. I'm currently pregnant.
Felicidades.
And I'm very happy because it's a boy. I have 3 little girls, which are all the way in the back. And so, like I said, I'm currently a mother of 3, soon to be a mother of 4. And I've been in City College since 2005, and it's been a long journey, but I know I'm gonna make it. And I'm almost at the end. So I'm very, very happy for that.
Bienvenida and congratulations. She's transferring in January. CSU San Marcos. Congrats. Sí se puede. Sí se pudo.
I'm Diego Bethe, the Associate Student President of ASG, and my major is business.
Thank you, Diego, for being here and for all the work you do for your for the students and all of us. I think they have a microphone over there.
Hi, everyone. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Let's see if this one comes out. Hello?
Hi, everyone. My name is Elena, and I work in the CallWorks department, and I'm representing EOPS today. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name's Serena. I'm representing Next Up today. My major is biology, and I've been here for about 2 years, but I've also been to other universities and colleges amongst the country.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Gonzalez. I'm a Mexican-American first-generation student. I'm representing the MESA program here at City, and I'll be transferring to SDSU this fall, which is on Monday. So yeah.
Congrats, everyone. I know we're missing maybe one more person, but I know she was working, so she might come here a little bit later. Thank you. Those were beautiful introductions. And let's start because we're so many. Maybe a couple of you can answer each question so we can have a little more time. But let's start with why City? How did you arrive to City College? What was your journey to get here?
I guess I'll go. I was in high school, senior, and I applied to 3 different colleges, including SDSU, and I was a Compact for Success student. And unfortunately, I didn't meet one of their benchmarks, so I didn't get to go to SDSU. And then the other 2 colleges said, no, thank you, even though I had good grades. And I was like, okay, well, what's my next option? I looked at Mesa College, City College, and the other at Southwestern Community College as well. But for City, since it was so close to my home, and my parents came here to City and they're immigrants, and I saw how successful they were, attending City. So I thought, I'm going to give it a chance. And I'm glad I made that decision because I feel at home here, and I'm going to miss City College because I'm going to SDSU. But if you don't feel by yourself here. And I always recommend to students who are seniors who don't know what they want to do, it's like, go to community college because you'll find yourself here. There's people to help you. So that's why I chose SDSU, City College.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Yeah, so the reason that I chose City College and to stay here for so many years is the help, all the aid that there's here. There's so many scholarships. You don't know how many times I applied for the appeals for financial aid and I didn't qualify. So City kept giving me scholarships. And now, right now, I'm representing the CalWorks program, and that's like my second chance. So if I didn't have that help, I feel like I would have just given up. So City gave me that hope, and just being here in my hometown, it makes me feel like welcome. It makes me feel that I belong here. And I feel like when I get out from here, I feel like I'm gonna be able to give back so much that City gave back to me.
Thank you. That's a perfect segue to my next question. What has made you feel welcome here at City College? What are things that maybe an instructor or classified professional, spa administrators, anybody on campus has done, or processes that had made you feel welcome, like this is your home away from home?
Okay, so as I said, I'm representing Next Up. I'm also an EOPS. So in order to be in Next Up, you also have to be an EOPS. Sorry, the Spanish is kicking in. But Salam, I want to give a huge shout out to her and Ashley because they're just the most amazing, most helpful people. When I came here from Hawaii, as I said, I've gone to plenty of other colleges. I came from Hawaii University. I also went to University of Hawaii, and I went to HCC, which is their community college over there. I've been through quite a journey to get here, and they really took me in and they made me feel at home. So huge shout out to them.
I'll go again. For me, it was the MESA program. Like Cornerman, the one who presented before, made me feel at home. I was lost after the pandemic, and like everyone else. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to make it, continue community college. And I was really shy before and didn't know anything about transferring, scholarships, internships. And thanks to him and the MESA program, you know, like I said before, I'm gonna miss City College. The MESA program really helps you. They don't grab your hand, but they guide you to the correct place.
With that said, what are other programs or clubs that you have heard about or gotten involved in your years here at City College?
One of the clubs would be
Diego, one sec. I think she wanted to say something. Then we'll go with you.
Okay, so the programs that I have joined, I have been EOPS student for all my transition in here in college. And I really love EOPS. I've been to events with them. Like I said, like you said, Salem, she's like the perfect role model for everyone. And just how she does more over and beyond for everyone. You like she just finds everything that you can get support from. So I really love EOPS. That's why when they asked me to be here, I was like, yeah, I'll do it, even if I don't like talking in front of people. But yeah, so I have been here in EOPS, and then I recently joined CalWorks, and CalWorks is an amazing program. I have seen what they do for their students, and just being part of their program and being able to help students as well is very motivating and inspiring. So I really love City College. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And Diego, before we go with you, if we can introduce our new panelist, and thank you. I know you're coming from work, so we really appreciate you being here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jen Bothridge, and woohoo! And I am a recent graduate of this awesome San Diego City College.
So as I mentioned to you before, it's very organic. We're just asking a few questions, and if you want to answer, go ahead and grab the microphone. We're talking about what are some programs or clubs that maybe you have been involved here at City throughout your years, and Diego was going to share.
one of the programs that picked me up immediately out of high school from the dual enrollment would be Emoja. My amazing professor Alexander is here in the back. But Emoja helps promote leaders of color, and just holds you through it and holds you accountable, not holding your hand, but making sure you show up. So texting each other, be like, hey, where you at in class? I know you're kind of late, or you haven't been showing up as much as you usually do. That's Emoja.
Oh, Emoja.
Hi, everyone. So I've been in several programs during all this 17 years. I don't know if you guys ever heard of STIFE. It was a business program, and it was like work experience. Then it became Enactus. And then right now I've been following City Women Work. Rock. Well, yeah, we work and we rock. And right now, I'm a huge fan of the CalWorks program as well. You don't know how many things they help us with. They help us with counseling. Pretty much they hold your hand during your whole entire academic school year here. They guide you to telling you, hey, this is what you're supposed to be taking. You don't need this class. If you want this class, go ahead and take it. It's going to help you with leadership and stuff like that. So they really help you a lot. And all these programs, it has to do with my major of becoming an accountant. And getting out of high school, I knew what I wanted to do. It's just that, you know, things get in the way. And I had to learn on the hard way that those things that get on the way actually form you later on. They take you where you're supposed to go, and they give you the experience that you need to get. So all these programs that City has, they're so good for you. You don't know how good they are because they prepare you. And even though some of them don't hold your hand during the way, but just showing up and just even being there and participating and putting your face there makes you a whole different person. So, yeah.
Wow. Is that inspirational or what? Right? Thank you. Wow. Would you like to share?
Did anyone talk about DSPS?
You can talk all you want about our wonderful DSPS.
Okay, so I am a participant of the DSPS program here. That is for individuals that have disabilities or feel that they need that additional support. DSPS Carrie Crawford, if she's here, Carrie Crawford, that is my awesome counselor. Yeah, I heard it. So for anyone that, you know, you just want that support, whether you have a disability or not, you can connect with DSPS to access accommodations that may be needed during your classes, communicating with your professors to help you, give you that little extra push that you need. In addition to DSPS, there is also a club, Disabilities Honor Society as well. You do not have to be disabled to be a participant of this club. If you believe in supporting individuals that are disabled, you have individuals in your life that are disabled, and or applies to you, we encourage you to participate. We get together monthly. We help plan the events for fellow students on campus. We also participate in fundraisings as well. This year, I believe it was, we actually volunteered for the hot chocolate run. So that was really cool experience to get together, especially not being on campus, to interact with your fellow club members. It was a really good opportunity. So DSPS is right down the stairs to your left, around the corner. Don't hesitate to go and check in and see what kind of support that they can offer to each of you. Welcome.
Jen, that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And on that note, what are some, we have talked about a lot of the good and the positive, but what are some challenges that some of you have had to endure, whether it's related to COVID or not, as a student here at City College?
So I'm actually going through something right now that I recently found out about just a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the pills for FAFSA, but I'm going to have to do that as soon as possible due to a maxed out number of credits, which I think is kind of weird because it's like I'm being punished for wanting to continue my education, right? So we should be able to take as many classes as we want. I feel like, you know, you said 17 years, right? And it's like the more knowledge is power, right? So that's kind of something that is frustrating me at the moment. There's been tons of more, but I think the pills that are not just for the FAFSA board, but also for our board here at City, I feel like we should consider that a little bit more, like the challenges and things that affect your journey along the way.
Thank you. I'm sure we are taking notes. Thank you.
As a City College student, it wasn't really something that occurred here. It happened just more like personally. I was a victim of domestic violence, and you don't know how much it affects for you to be able to grasp your goal, because there's always people, bullies, and there's other people that are your family, and they actually want to make you down. So as a city college student, I went through that all these years, and I didn't give up even though I had that challenge. And so it was hard coming to school and not letting my teachers know about that. So when I was going through those obstacles, I realized that there was a counseling services here, and just letting those people know and being anonymous was so good for my mental health, that it just made me keep going. And so my challenge was being a individual coming to school, nobody knowing what I was going through, and still wanting to come and finish schooling. And so that challenge, city helped me so much because of the CalWorks program and the counselings here. And the teachers here that City College has, they're amazing. You just have to tell them a little bit of what's going on in your life, and they will get you, because they're humans too. They probably have gone through that too, or they know somebody and they cope with you. And so just speaking out and just being anonymous here in City College, that's all you need. That's all you need here, so they can help you on your way. And even if you're not getting that aid or that help somewhere else, you can get it here.
Thank you.
I can go. So I would say is the lack of opportunities within programs. So I've been also a student and I worked here, and I've been able to work in programs where I didn't feel like I was growing. And then so now that I'm part of CallWorks, I've been able to interact with Miriam. So I have a great director, and just the way how she presents you with other people, you know, making you like know how important it is to make community between your department. And just working with her has been a great role model. And I'm just like the way how she's been telling me, like, oh, Elena, like you can be a director or whatever. So it's just making me like kind of do better in anything I do. So yeah, just like being a leader within your program, kind of bringing more ideas to your workers is something that we need. And yeah, so thank you.
So obstacles, I will speak on the behalf of us more well-seasoned individuals that are still pursuing our educational goals. I first attended City College sometimes in 1980 something. Life happens, became a divorced single parent, living life in various locations on this planet. However, at age 51, I graduated last May, just recently graduated. So thank you. So I say that because 80 something to 2022 is a very long time to think, am I ever going to make it? Am I ever going to get it? Oh, I didn't take this class, or I have to take this class over. I got to work. I can't go to, can't take classes. Perseverance is key. You stay focused no matter what, even if you I had to petition to take a class this semester. And just because I fall down does not mean that I will not get up and continue pursuing, advocating for myself. When I struggled in my classes because of personal things, I would reach out to my professors, say, hey, I'm struggling. May I have an extension? Worst case, they're going to say yes or no. One of the things that I learned is that despite the challenges that I was experiencing, communicating with my professors was essential and key. That saved me so many times. So even if you are embarrassed, or just afraid that they're gonna reject you, push through that and, speak up for yourself and ask for what you want. We have not because we ask not.
Probably the biggest obstacle for me was building the habits of a student, being able to log into Canva and seeing my assignments, or communicating with your teacher and knowing how to submit assignments, and just being able to be a student in general is probably the biggest obstacle that I'm still going through. But if you persevere and ask a round of advice, you'll be able to become a city college student.
Thank you. Just wanted to do a quick time check. Oh, beautiful. Okay, 20 minutes and then Q&A. My watch, oh, it just became alive again. Wonderful. That helps a lot. Thank you for that. So let's see, in terms of COVID and coming out of this pandemic, which still there, right? So it's a new way of being, of learning, of just experiencing life. So what are some of the lessons maybe or experiences that have helped you in as an online versus an in-person student? How do you see this debacle that we're going through right now?
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. It's just really fast. I actually think that City College has done a really good job on doing online learning. Of me 17 years here, mostly half of all my credits I've been online, and I believe that City College was already kind of like preparing itself to this pandemic. And what this pandemic actually helped schooling is now teachers are more available online, and now you're able to see them like record themselves and actually like see the actual notes. So I just think that this pandemic just concluded everything that the teachers were actually trying to do over the years, and the pandemic actually made them explore the technology a little bit more. And pretty much it rolled up and how it had to be.
Amy?
Okay, for me, what I learned was self-advocacy, because when we were in the pandemic, everything was online. You had to search for stuff because you couldn't walk into financial aid to ask for help or any of your programs. You had to look for it. So after all of that, I learned how to go in person now that I have that opportunity and ask questions, because before it was very quiet because people would be throwing stuff at you. Hey, look at all of this information. Now I know now I had to go and look for the information. It's not just always receiving it. So that's what I learned, self-advocacy.
So I think the pandemic was a wake-up call for everyone. I think it was more like for us to just reinforce our identity and be able to be more resilient. I know like being online can be hard, but it just makes us stronger, you know. Just I always took my classes in person, but now that I for the pandemic I did it online, now I feel more confident about actually registering for online classes. So also being able to manage like online settings, and also kind of like being also, since we have to be in home, like being able to manage like personal situations, or also like just being present in our academics. So I think it was just a wake-up call for us to like actually get out of our comfort zone and being able to like know that we can do it, and that yeah, so it's just for us that we survived and now we're here back. So a lot of people gave up, you know, a lot of people gave up school and they haven't came back. But like us, that we graduated and we did it through the pandemic just makes us think that we're good, that we're ready for everything that can happen. So yeah.
Beautiful. A couple more questions and then we go to Q&A. How excited are you to get back to the class in person with humans again. It's there with you. Anybody excited? I am.
I am. First, I just want to acknowledge the professors that had to adapt to going online. I believe that that's why I passed my biology class is because my professor had to readjust to curriculum online, which was much easier. I'm grateful for him. I will be attending Spanish on campus. Gosh, it's 2 years now. 2 years, yeah, 2
Qué
years.
bueno.
Exactly. And I'm really excited because I know being in person is going to be very beneficial for me to successfully complete and pass this class. So I'm definitely excited about that.
Obviously we're all pretty excited to get back to talk with people and to interact and to have the socialization again. But being able to do that is also a step, right? I've noticed that there's not as many classes available here at City anymore versus just 2 years ago. And I know a lot of jobs dropped out in the process, but I think we got to really have that backbone structure for us students, right? Like this semester I wanted to take physics, but I'm not going to be able to do that because there's no physics classes offered here at City this semester. Can you believe that? They're only at Mesa College and Miramar College. And that's just kind of further distancing the city kids and the urban students through the challenges that we already have, right? So just making the availability of classes equal, which I've already emailed the board and the director of the chemistry department about. So yeah, let's remember the backbone.
You know you're going to be my boss one day, right? That was wonderful. Just one last question, and this is for all of you, if you want to answer it. What's your best memory or advice that you would give a person just starting their student journey here at City College?
I can go. So I've done a lot of everything. I did study abroad. I did work study. I worked in different departments here. And it's just started from curiosity, you know, knowing what can I do with that. So being able to like live those experience make me like a more well-rounded person, being able to like now know a lot of like what it is. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to do a study abroad. I'm like, why don't you do it? Well, I'm scared. I'm like, I didn't even know I was going to do it and I did it. So just being able to like have that flexibility within you and live those experiences can be eye-opening. It can be a bad experience or a good experience, but you will never know unless you try it. So yeah, I just want to let everyone know to like, yeah, go for it. You know, we only have one life and then we need to make the best of it. And just like talk to other people about your experiences and maybe it will convince them to also go for it. So yeah.
I would say no matter what you want to do, you can start at a city college, because I grew up with the stigma, oh, you don't want to go to city college, go straight away to a university, which I did. I went to a private university and now I'm $35,000 in debt, right? So if you want to be a doctor, start in city, right? I've gotten connected with some amazing doctors who have started in city colleges all throughout the country, thanks to Mesa program. Again, huge shout out to Corner Man. I know he's out there somewhere. But no matter what you want to do, I would say start in city, save your money, save your time, and you know, whatever you want to do it here.
I have a younger sister who's a senior and is now looking to apply to colleges, and she's stressed. She's like, oh, I have to get to a 4-year university. And other classmates as well ask me questions because they know I'm in college, and I tell them, don't worry about it. If you don't get accepted to any of them, your life can continue. Go to a community college, go to city college. If you don't know what you want to do, they'll help you. You'll find a way and you won't be in so much debt. And, you know, don't bring yourself down. It's not the end of your story. It's a new chapter. It's a new challenge and you learn.
What I would say to any freshman coming from straight from high school, or any adult that has kids and they want to start studying and doing a career, I will say, if you change your major and halfway through, it's not in vain. It's not. All of those classes that you think that you didn't need, they will build you up as a person, as a human being. I have an example for that. I did the mistake of taking dance choreography, and I said, oh my gosh, this does not meet any of my requirements. And so I just wanted to finish the class because I didn't want to get an F, I didn't want to get a W. And 5 years later, I end up becoming a Zumba instructor. And I was like, that choreography class made me learn all those 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So yeah, nothing is in vain. Whatever you take out from a class, if you end up needing it for transferring or for a requirement, it's gonna stay. It's gonna stay for in your brain and for your life.
What I would like to say to students, young and well-seasoned, this too shall pass, regardless of how difficult it may seem, how tedious it may seem. You have a goal and a desire in mind, so stick with it. Don't get too frustrated if you don't get the grade that you expected to get or that you are looking for. Again, just as everyone has said, these classes here at City College are here to build us up. So you never know what you may learn by, not doing so well on something. And that's it. I just really want to remind everyone to not quit.
My best piece of advice would probably be set your standards low and keep your goals high. So for those days when you don't feel like getting out of bed and just doing anything, set the standard of just putting on your shoes. Then once you see that you accomplished that and be like, okay, wow, that wasn't so bad. Okay, let me put them on my, well, hopefully you have your clothes on by this time. Let me walk out the door and go to class or go to work, and you accomplish that too. And then you're slowly seeing that you're able to reach that higher goal and be like, okay, so these little moments are going to get me to that high moment of graduating with that degree, getting my first job, or just accomplishing anything in life. Set those low standards.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know we have a lot of people online as well. So we want to open the Q&A, but before we move to that, I just wanted to tell you, I know it seems like you're talking to future students, but I feel like you're talking to me too. And I am inspired and I'm grateful to know you and to be part of your journey in any way. But I know many of us here feel the same way. You students inspired us to actually want to do more and do better. So thank you. So we have any questions? Maybe we'll start here and then Cesar can help me with the people online. Yes.
At point 2.
You mentioned SIFE and Enactus. I want to know how important they were to bringing you where you are today.
They gave me the experience, work experience. So when I enrolled to those classes, I did not have any experience. I didn't work as a high schooler. So just being part of a business and knowing how to plan one and how to actually execute one, just made me feel so powerful. I can actually happily say that I was one of the first ones that started the boutique and the food pantry here in San Diego City College. And I feel so happy that I went to those programs because it wouldn't have let me even volunteer there. So they made pretty much my whole life, pretty much. They gave me the experience.
Thank you so much. Great question. I think we have somebody. Yes.
Hi.
Selam.
Thank you so much, you guys. It's just, you guys really, truly inspired me. And so you guys gave advice to students. What advice would you give to us, folks that work here, that are going to be in the classrooms, that are your counselors, that are your staff members? What would you give us that we could, what support could we give to students if you had something to say, like we're starting fall, if you had a magic wand and you could say, this is what I want, this is how I want you to be, what would that look like?
I would really say, I would say that it's the connection with them, just like more like a bond, like being able to, maybe you see something in them that they don't see in themselves. So just by telling them, or maybe you can do this, or you can just make them like a greater person, maybe some people have been stuck in the same shell, like they don't know what they're capable of. So just by bringing them resources or something they can work on, and that would create a bigger person. So that just brings them hope and inspiration to grow within your program, or also students that don't know what they want, and you see that they are good in something, and then you bring them that idea and they're like, oh wow, maybe I can do that, so that's very important. If you just can be a comment, and you don't know how many doors you will open for them.
And I also wanted to add, being trauma informed, right? There's so many seminars and so many classes that you guys can attend, and maybe they can get you in here, but being trauma informed is hugely important for a variety of people.
So before we go to our next question, I know that I was monitoring the line, and Dr. Will, who is one of our amazing science professors, mentioned in the chat that we absolutely have physics classes and we absolutely have them in person. So anyone wondering about that. Next, we get to introduce our next person, who is a former City College student and also now an adjunct faculty here at City College.
Yeah, so I want to say one word: underestimating. Mimi and I started here about the same time. I started here in 2004, and there's something pernicious and absolutely vile. It's those of us who grew up working class, who were told by our high school counselors, just go get a GED, go wash dishes. You don't have a future. And they underestimate you. They have this entitlement that you don't have a future, and you should be proud of yourselves because you're violating that. I've encountered homelessness, food insecurity. I fought through really, really bad ADHD. It took me 5 years in City College. And the one great thing about this place is no matter how much you've been underestimated, which might lead a lot of people to failure, if you have that drive, you have that tenacity, you can push yourself forward. You can make something of yourself. I was told just to go get a GED. After City College, I wound up going to UC Irvine. I don't think I could have gone there. I didn't just double major. I got 2 bachelor's degrees from there, one in the social sciences, one in the humanities. I went off later to SDSU. I got a master's degree. Research that I did was used by the US State Department. And it was all because this place is this nurturing ground where no matter where you come from, you can become something. You do the best form of revenge on everybody who's ever underestimated you, which is to flourish. And I am proud to say that where I came from, which was, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign up for some dance classes. I did community theater. I got a visual and performing arts associates from here. I'm now going to be teaching on this campus. I work hard, and I am you guys, and you are me, and we work hard. And I take that back. The best form of revenge against someone who underestimates you is not to flourish, but to flourish and help other people who have been underestimated flourish. And you guys are doing that here today. And thank you so much for being here. And you guys are going to do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. And you are doing it. And one last thing, the greatest thing that we have here for those of us who have been underestimated is not just that they're more affordable classes. We have IGETC, which opens doors. It allows us to go out there, not just to flourish, to push back against being underestimated, but to give back and to help others. And City College, as our wonderful president, our illustrious president says, we have love here. And it's this pro-social community sense that we help each other. And that's what City College is about.
Well said. Any questions for our students? If there,
Miriam,
oh,
Yes.
sorry.
and do we have anybody online?
This is for Mimi and any other parent learners. As a parent learner on campus, your priority is your children, and oftentimes you're focused more on your children's education because they come first. What are the top 3 support that you can get from your instructors, from the various offices here that can help you flourish in your own education while also continuing to be that blueprint for success for your children?
I will say the first priority is putting yourself first. I know as a mother, you always want to put your kids first, but if you do not put yourself first, you're not going to be powerful enough to continue. So you set the example. The second priority, I will say, get the help, get counseling. I grew up as a person that if you asked for help, you were seen as you didn't know what you were doing or you were crazy. And so just asking for counseling, it's not bad. Actually, you always need somebody to lay all your dirt, lay all the bad negativity on someone else, but they're a professional. They know what to do with it. And the third priority will be having your kids or someone in your life as your inspiration. If you do not have inspiration, you will not go anywhere, nowhere.
I'm not a parent myself, but I watched it from the opposite lens as a child watching their mom go to school. And really, we always watch you and just see that you support us, even though you're not there. It's just being able to see you go to school allows us to be like, okay, this is important and we should be here too.
So we do have a question. Great comments. We do have a question from one of our psychology professors online. What is one thing that instructors can do to help you feel more comfortable to participate, engage in class as we transition back on campus?
This is for online professors that are still teaching online.
No, that's for in
What is the
person.
one thing that instructors can do to help you feel more comfortable to participate and or engage in class as we transition back on campus?
This would be definitely the instructor definitely sets the tone. So if the instructor comes in all nervous, it kind of rubs off, and the rest of the students would be nervous and don't know what to do. So maybe removing the standard setup of a classroom where everyone's facing the professor and allowing the students to face each other and see each other and understand, wow, this is another student from my community, from Encanto, or this is a student that looks like me, and just seeing each other.
Thank you. Beautiful. A very practical advice for all of us in the classroom. Thank you.
Can I say something? What worked for me back when it was before pandemic and everything, we would get in groups And then instead of asking the whole class the question and when for one person to answer, we would get in groups, ask the question, give them time, and then each one in each group would present what they think. And then they'll need, so the same person won't present each time. You could say, you know, the next person has to be someone else. And yeah, I noticed it worked a lot in the classroom, so that would be my recommendation.
Hello.
Sorry, if I can just add one more. Nothing like fun can break the ice in a classroom with individuals that may be nervous or anxious about what's about to happen. So an awesome, fun icebreaker would definitely do that.
Anyone else? Yes.
What worked for me in the past when I was not taking online classes is the teachers will make us also be in groups, but they will turn us face out. So you weren't able to see the other persons like I'm doing right now with you guys, and just able to speak. So like, for example, the teacher will say, we'll pick on you and say, okay, Miriam, can you tell us about what you did on the weekend? You will be facing the other way, so you won't be seeing any eyes, you won't feel any judgment, and it will just let you speak freely. And sometimes other teachers in the business classes, they will make us read our classmates' papers, so that maybe they were better presenters, and just reading the other person's paper made them feel, I know how to write, I know how to actually say something in a paragraph. So it just like took off that load off from presenting your own work. So just pretty much like not facing people and just like picking on the person and saying, go ahead, you have the mic.
Very interesting one. I did public speaking. So I'm like, interesting. Very good.
Hello,
Yes.
I want to say thank you because one of you, I started as a student actually in continuing education. I came in 24 years old. It was so struggling with no English, and being here and having an angel over there to push me, to trust in me. One of the one worker classified now. I start since the battle, and I really thank you everybody at City College for giving me that hat and everything. And now I'm working in a child development center, talking about children, talking about those struggling single parents, students. We are there too. We are part of you. We're here to give you a hug, to give you the love and say, we're here for you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's give the students and Maria Jose another round of applause. They are absolutely the reason we are here. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
They deserve a standing ovation.
Thank you so much. That concludes our student panel. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Couple of things. We did a number of things different this time. Normally, our board of trustees and chancellor would start at City College. The program is not over, so please don't leave. We are waiting for our chancellor, Jim, the president of AFT, as well as our board of trustee president, Dr. Senior. They are en route from Mesa College. They saved the best for last. They normally would have lunch here with us. So they start here, then go to the other colleges, then come back for lunch. They decided they wanted to spend more time with us and have lunch. So they will be here momentarily. In the meantime, I'm going to invite our three wonderful vice presidents to join us. They're going to provide their updates as we wait the arrival of our chancellor and district leaders. There also is an opportunity to sign up for a drawing to have lunch or dinner with the vice presidents and myself. Please see the table if you'd like to get in the drawing. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce John Parker, the Vice President of Administrative Services.
Morning. Thank you, President Shabazz. We're going to change up the order a little bit, and we're going to have Vice President of Student Services come up, and we're going to lay our new employees.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Marcelo Perez, Vice President of Student Services here at City. And it is my pleasure. We are going to welcome all of our new employees, our new hires for the institution. So, and we're going to try and do this in a way. So if you are someone that was hired from August of 21 through now, come on up, and then we want you to stand by your VP. So if you are in administrative services, you'll stand over by John. If you are part of instruction, you're going to stand over by Tilly. And if you're part of student services, I'm going to have you stand over to my right and just face the front, because we're going to have you introduce yourselves, and we're going to do have a little quick ceremony. Come on up, new folks. So if you're a new employee, yeah, there we go. Come on up, line up. I see some people moving. Juan Carlos Reyna, I see you in the back. You need to be moving up towards the front. All right, so if you are a new employee who started sometime between August of 2021 and now, you should be making your way up to the front. So student services folks over to my right, folks in instruction on the far left, to my left, and if you're in administrative services, over in the middle by John. All right, so we're gonna, what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna read a, thanks to Temi over in Dean Yule's area. She came up with this idea, so we wanted to do a lei ceremony. So a lei is a common symbol of love, friendship, celebration, honor, or greeting. In essence, it is a symbol of aloha. Lei gained popularity in the US due to the common practice of presenting one to arriving or leaving tourists in Hawaii. And during the boat days of the early 1900s, lei vendors lined the pier at Aloha Tower to welcome malahini or visitors to the island and locals back home. A lei is a symbol of connection. As each flower is connected to the next, the lei represents the connections of the lei maker and the recipient. A lei can also symbolize the connection of family, from elders to parents to children. And on a larger scale, the lei symbolizes the connection to human race that the human race shares. So we're going to go around, we're going to introduce, have folks introduce themselves.
Marciano meant new and promotions. Sasha, Masa, if you were promoted.
Thank you for that, Claire. Yes, if you're part of the promotion group, Genevieve. Oh, perfect. See, you're so tall, I miss you. All right, so we'll start on that. We'll start on this side down here. Ginger, they want you to come on up too. Christian. So you're going to say your name and what your role is here.
Hello, everyone. Aloha. Marcus Benefield, Administrative Technician, Regional Strong Workforce.
Hi, everyone. Kirsten Christensen, new faculty in the psychology department.
Hi, everyone. Octavio Garcia. I'm in Chicanx Studies, professor.
Hi, good morning. My name is Michelle Foster, and I'm in the nursing department.
Hi, I'm Aaron Deddy. I am the Dean of Health, Exercise Science, and Athletics.
Hi, I'm Masa Omai. I'm Dean of the School of Social Behavioral Sciences and Consumer Family Studies.
Sasha, let's do it near the podium.
Good morning. How are you guys doing out there? Okay, good. My name is Sasha Knox. I am now newly appointed the Associate Dean of Strong Workforce.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Allison Hart, and I am part of nursing ed. I'm an assistant professor. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name is Bernard DeSena. I'm a clinical adjunct professor for the nursing department, and I'm also a graduate from the nursing department here.
Good morning, new family. I am Dorothy Feast and nursing faculty. Thank you.
I'm Jason Fry, new adjunct in political science, and I'm here to help our students beat their annoying uncles and bad political arguments.
My name is Ginger Broussard, and I'm in business services project analyst.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christian. I'm project analyst at Business Services.
They're watching you online. You try to all right. Come on.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bianca Ariano, and I'm the new Hubu Puente Nemoja program technician, and I'm so excited to return.
And a graduate of City College.
Yes, graduate of City College and a Puentista myself.
Bay City family, my name is Kaylon Bell, and I am the counselor, Umoja counselor and coordinator. Great to be here.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Can I get a buenos dias? Buenos dias. All right, awesome. My name is Juan Carlos, and I'm the new Dean of Student Development and Matriculation. Excited to be here, enjoying the family and community. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Genevieve Esquera, the Dean of Outreach and Enrollment Services.
Aloha. Aloha. I'm the new financial director. I'm here to help the student to ease their financial burden.
And your name?
Oh, aloha. My name is Wendy Wayne.
Hello, my name is Mark Holman. I'm an alumni here of City College from the 80s. I just transferred from Miramar College, and I'm working with the student athletes, counselor here for the student athletes.
Hi, I'm Marcia Serini, and I am a cosmetology graduate. I did it after another career, so I will be an adjunct in manicuring, so come get your nails done.
Hi, everyone. Shayna Carr, the new acting dean of School of Business, IT, Cosmo, Engineering, and Trades.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabby Mansfield. I'm the new biology faculty here. Very, very proud and honored to be joining you guys. And I'm also another Latina to join the team. So
Good morning. My name is Dee Armstrong. I'm an alumni, 1993. I am the Associate Dean of Nursing. Welcome, family.
Oh, that's not fair. I got Alexandra Perry, also alumni of San Diego City College. Just changing the title at the front of my name to professor. Machine Technologies. Thank you, everyone.
Please, another round of applause for all of our new promoted former City College students who are now part of our City College family. John is now going to provide an update on PPE, HERF, and other safety-related matters. There will be a contest for all the new employees during lunch, which will be downstairs in front of the cafeteria. So please introduce yourself, make a friend. John Parker.
Thank you, thank you. You noticed that my line was probably the shortest out of the new employees. That's because my team is out working right now. So I want to give a shout out to Jay and his facilities team. Also want to give a shout out to Ginger and Dina, our classified professionals, Robbie and his team for setup and logistics today. Not just today, but also through the summer months, through the COVID months, keeping the campus open and operational. So thank you guys. Quick update, as President Shabazz alluded to, I really want to go back to the script, the slide you probably missed out here in person anyhow, which showed that we're ending the year in the positive for the second consecutive year. It was $375,000, but I'd like to preface that by saying it's actually $1.5 million. And yes, thank you. And it's 375 as the district scoops a portion to contribute to the surplus. It's for all of the schools. It's for the district, but we're able to keep our portion. The good thing is that we are in the positive. And on a personal and probably a more selfish note is, as I tease Ricky, it continues my streak of 25 plus years of ending the year in the positive. So we don't want to end that anytime soon, right? But I do want to thank all of the business managers, the deans, vice presidents, anyone that works with budget and procurement for helping us reach that goal. Our team doesn't do it. I don't do it by myself. It's because of you all and our financial stewardship and making sure that we are in compliance and we end the year on budget. Another update regarding student housing that President Shabazz alluded to. You may be aware, we did receive $344,000 in planning grant from SB 169. We are using that to engage a consulting firm to help us submit another application for construction of student housing, and that is due in October. So they're helping us with an assessment analysis, feasibility analysis, impact studies to get that application in by the October deadline. We'll be applying for at least $150 million. The first application last fall, you may recall, was for $130 million, approximately 600 beds. We want to submit an application for at least 1,000 beds. We want to try and double that, but the goal is at least 1,000 beds. We'll know once we submit the application as a result of the feasibility analysis and the impact study. Another trend that President Shabazz alluded to, HERF funds. We have several $1 million remaining, and we're going into the final stretch, guys. This is year 3, and we have 8 or 9 months remaining to spend millions of dollars. We've done actually a pretty good job up until now. We've had approximately $23 million in state and federal funds. So with 9 months remaining, please, if you have any needs for resources, equipment, submit that request through your deans, through your managers or VPs, which ultimately ends up to me. And I do kick some back. So please be patient. We're not obstructionists. We're actually being audited by our auditing firm on a regular basis. The Department of Education as well requests additional justification. So please be patient with us as I send back for additional justification. Keep in mind, it has to be for student programs and services, instruction, professional development, student retention, and outreach. Any request beyond that requires special approval from the Department of Education. And also, as we're gearing up for return, or we've been gearing up for return, any PPE, What do we have? A replete supply of air purifiers that just came in, plexiglass, masks, sanitation, special equipment, you name it. Please route those requests to our office and we will have them delivered. We also have the hydraulic desk risers, ergonomically correct hydraulic desk risers as well. And visit our website for COVID updates. We have forms, HER forms, budget requests, adjustment, anything related to business services or administrative services. And as always, please reach out to me if you have any questions. With that, I will pass it along to Vice President Student Services, Marciano Perez. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. So welcome, everyone. I'm so glad to have all of you here. From Student Services, I just want to, again, echo that we are here and ready to serve all of our students, as well as all of our faculty and classified professionals that are coming back to campus. In Student Services, many folks know, many of us didn't leave. I've been working this whole time, but we have absolutely been gearing up for this day. And I'm really always excited when I look around and can see people here on campus and engaging with students. We have a lot of new and exciting things that are happening in Student Services. We are opening up our brand new Pride Hub and Women's Center in the L building. So we're really excited about that. We have a new first generation hub that's also be part of the L building. We have a grant through NASPA for the creation of that. So thanks to Dr. Adán Sanchez and his leadership, we were able to secure a grant for that. We're opening up our brand new food pantry in the T building. So we'll have a new food pantry that is going to be soon to open there. And we're really excited about being able to serve our students in that facility. And we're going to continue with our Hunger Action Days, the first Tuesday and the third Monday of every month, where we will have the drive-up option in Lot 8 to be able to provide food for our community. So I don't want to just say students, because many of the folks that take us up on that are actually our faculty and classified professionals that drive up and get food. So it is open to anyone. We're really excited to continue the partnership with Feeding San Diego and the San Diego Food Bank to be able to provide that for all of our folks. Again, we're excited to welcome our new Director of Financial Aid, Wendy Wang, who will continue the great work that financial aid is doing and trying to get our students into with their financial aid and getting their FAFSA completed. We know that that is an important part. You heard that from our students today, talking about finances and how important that is to them being able to take care of their education when they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay for rent or books. And so our financial aid team plays an incredibly important part in making sure that our students are set for that. Under the leadership of our new Dean of Student Development and Matriculation, Dr. Juan Carlos Reyna, we're going to continue to be able to do wonderful, wonderful things with our counselors, who, as many of you know, you've heard me say this before, started offering Saturday hours for our students as a way to be able to serve our students on the weekends. So we're going to continue to be able to try and do that. We've added several new counselors in the department to try and really meet the needs of our students. We hear it from our students all the time that they want to meet with counselors. Georgina has done a fantastic, fantastic job as the chair of the department of really working to make sure that we've got folks. Johnson is working really hard to get them scheduled so that students can actually access the counselors when they go online to be able to do that. So we've got an amazing team in counseling doing that. With Dora's leadership, our admissions and records team, again, has been doing wonderful, wonderful things. And with our vet center, if you haven't had a chance to go and see our wonderful new vet center, right down here, you'll see the new flags that she was able to get installed, new signage. There's going to be new signage on the front of this building here. The You Belong Here is going to be on the front of the admissions office. And so you'll be able to create another welcoming space for our students. And then, of course, with student affairs, continuing to do all the things that are addressing our student needs. And lastly, but not least, I hope I didn't forget anyone. I do want to make sure that I'm also shouting out our mental health and student health folks, because we know that they have continued, in particular during this pandemic, to really provide mental health and student health services to all of our students and to many of our faculty and classified professionals as they've partnered to how do we support students. Leslie and her fantastic team will continue to provide mental health outreach programs with her peers. I see David here from our Welcome Home City program, who continues to help our students who are part of our homeless and housing insecure pilot program, or Welcome Home City program, to address homelessness and housing insecurity with our students. And then I don't see Debbie here, but Debbie is our new acting coordinator for student health. And so working on the nursing side of things and making sure, you've probably seen, they've been giving out the testing kits. We're hosting a vaccine drive. We've been able to do a blood drive recently. So you'll start seeing more and more things from student health, including, as she's been sending out information about monkeypox. You probably saw the email that's come from that. So it's important to have someone like Debbie on our team who's been able to educate our campus and our students about the things that are affecting the health of the folks in our community. So, and I guess lastly, I don't want to forget EOPS and CARE, CalWorks, and Next Up. I know I saw Miriam here earlier, who's done a fantastic job with our Believe Academy folks and our EOPS team. So thank you to all of them, and thank you to all of you for supporting our students. And we are very, very excited about what this year is going to hold, including, I will share real quickly that we're going to have 3 different events, welcome back events for students next week. So be on the lookout. We're going to do a bienvenida for our Latinx students. We're going to do a welcome back for our Black students, and we're doing welcome back for our API community. And so those are going to happen here. They're going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. So you'll be able to see this, the flyers and things that are coming out. And our hope is that you all will encourage your students that you come in contact with to come. And if you are part of any of those communities, to also come and meet our students so that you can be in community with them. So thank you again. I look forward to a wonderful semester.
Don't go anywhere. Hi, everyone. We missed a couple of people on our new hire. Do you know that we have a new vice president of student services, Marciano Perez? And then I'm going to ask him to hand out one more. We forgot Dr. Adan Sanchez, our acting student affairs. We see you, Adan. We're coming to get you. Sorry. Hi, everyone. Sorry, my name's Tilly Chavez, and nice to see you all. And I'm standing between you and the next event. So I'm here to give you some instructional services updates, but I first want to just start off and say thank you. It is so beautiful to see you all here face to face, not with a little yellow, square around your faces. So we're real. It's beautiful. I like seeing you. I hope that we continue to do this. We need to have this energy back. So, and I just say thank you to all of you and everyone that helped us for today. As we get ready for next week with our students coming back, I know I see people just tapping their feet going, I got to get to work. I got to get to work, got to get things ready. So thank you for that as well, taking the time out. Be a good family here together. Couple of announcements, lots happening in instruction. So working our best. I heard earlier that, and I think I've said this quite a few times before, enrollment's on all of us, right? Each one of us has enrollment. So I think it was the other night, Monday night, when I was at the adjunct hiring, one place I was, and I asked everybody to bring back 10 students each. So that's my charge to all of you here. Bring in 10 students before Monday. No, we do have some late starts as well. So thank you. My division has several announcements. From the athletics. Athletics is coming back strong, including celebrating, get this, our Latinx, Chicanx at our volleyball match on September 23rd. The party starts at 5 p.m. Keep an eye out for that. Can I hear a shout out for athletics? Woo! Oh, sorry. So we have the San Diego Workforce Partnership that's working to increase professionals in behavioral health field. So keep a lookout for that as well. We have lots happening. We're also working on the non-credit to credit pathway with the non-credit credit alignment lab that known as the NCAL. Child development and health education to nursing are our pathways right now that we are developing, things that you might not even be aware that are happening. Sorry, I have to keep moving around from some of these. We have also faculty are constantly doing some orientations and information sessions. I would like to ask you all to let us help you with those information sessions as well. They're just happen. And I know the exec cab team would really like to know when those are happening. How can we help you promote the campaigns? How can we get them out there? You know, one thing, Dr. Shabazz, I'm sorry, Ricky. I know I never call you Dr. Shabazz. One of the things that you always say is, what are we doing out there? There's a lot happening. And I have to say for myself, I'm not always the best of reminding others what we're doing. So I heard about 5 stories today of different people doing things. Heather McGray, I think she might have left already, but there's some work that the women in STEM are doing. I think they have an entire cohort, Ricky, of women right now that we're working on. It just hasn't been known. So I really want to get those out. It'd be real important for us to share those stories. And I think over the last 30 months or so, we've had a tendency to just do the work, not share it out. It's time to get back here and share it with each other. I know there's people in all areas that want to know what's happening. So those are just some very quick highlights, and I need to find Jeannie Tyler's update or she is going to come after me. The City Works Journal of 2022. It's sponsored by the English department. It's available. If you would like a copy, Paul Lopez is your person. Right, Paul? Paul's saying, okay. Don't forget, I know we mentioned the different murals. Have you been downstairs to see the one in the cafeteria? We have our social justice, our Chicano study one down there. We also have the social justice mural. It's on the west side of AH. We should have done that on a scavenger hunt. See how many people could locate that one. So go see if you can find all those murals that we talked about this morning. Addition to that, there's a lot happening in instruction. I'll be coming to the schools this afternoon, running from one place to another. But if there is anything else that we can do to help promote our classes, let me know. I need to get that hot list going. So deans, faculty, I need to know what are your low enrolled classes so we can help move. And let me know. Anything else? Are we doing Q&A? Or Ricky, we turn it back to you. Go ahead.
So as we wait from our district delegation to come, we'll just open it up to questions. Oh, here comes Jim Mailer. So it looks like they're on their way. Any questions while we wait for the chancellor and our board president? Any questions? Yes, Jocelyn. Yes, I believe so the question, and if we could have someone give Jocelyn the mic so everyone online could hear the question about the student summits, welcome days that Marciano mentioned. I'll let him go back over what those days were. There are dates and there are people working on the flyers. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Jocelyn, for the question. So they're going to take place next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday is Latinx. Wednesday is API, and Thursday is the Black meet and greet. And we have point people that are working on the flyers and all the what the program is going to look like. They'll take place from 11:30 to 1 in this space here.
And there are a host of other welcome back events for our students that will be publicized. I believe Lori is working on that out of student affairs with a group of others. And so be on the lookout for the email. It's so important to read that email. Speaking of so important, our district delegation, you all could join us. There's seats up in the front. Let's give a round of applause for our chancellor, our colleague president from the College of Continuing Education, Dr. Tina King. We also have our board president, Dr. Senior. And without further ado, if you are ready, I would like to introduce our board president, Dr. Maria Nieto Senior. Give her a round of applause, folks.
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to be here and see friends in the group. I am, as you've heard, in case you're new, I'm here representing our Board of Trustees, and I've been on this board for 32 years. How many of you have been in the district for 32 years or more? There's a few of us. So as a member of the board, I've seen wonderful times for City College. I've seen difficult times. We've just finished going through a very difficult time, and hopefully things are getting better. But through all these periods, whether we're up or down, whatever it is, the challenges we have, we've had a constant source of excellence, and that's our people. That's our faculty. That's our classified professionals, our administrators, the folks who do the work, the folks who make this a place that really changes lives. City College, as you know, changes lives. And all of our board members recognize how much that's the case. As a former faculty member myself, I know how much goes into preparing classes, teaching and counseling students, evaluating papers, grading, writing curricula, participating in committees, meeting with students outside the class, serving as club advisors, being active in an academic field, making this all fit in the boundaries of a semester. People think that faculty go and teach, 4 classes or whatever, and then they go home and that's what they do. And people don't realize how much time and energy and extra work we do. And as faculty, we also realize how much we rely on our classified professionals. We couldn't do what we do without the work that the classified folks do, and how much they contribute to our success and to the success of City College. As we begin another year, we continue to face challenges, as you know, including the COVID-19 pandemic, which has disproportionately impacted our students, particularly the students here at City College that tend to come from homes that don't have a great deal of income and therefore are the most vulnerable. I really appreciate your resilience and your flexibility in meeting their needs in the ways that you have done, making sure that all of our students have access to quality higher education. Please continue to do the wonderful work you do and let us know about your issues and recommendations. As you know, we hold board meetings once a year on the campuses, so we'll be here at City College holding a board meeting, and we always have an open session where we invite you to come and tell us whatever concerns you have, whatever recommendations you have to make us be more effective in meeting the needs of our students. You know better than we do, and you can help us do a better job if you help us by coming and talking to us and letting us know. So I really want to encourage you to do that. Again, thank you and welcome to the new academic year of 2022-23.
Now it's my honor to introduce someone who is all known to us, our new chancellor, Dr. Cortez.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you all today. The one reason I could never work at City College is I look awful in red, and I certainly don't have red pants, Ricky. But let's start off today. I want to recognize your wonderful president, and particularly want to recognize his commitment to including classified professionals in today's convocation. Let's give him a round of applause, please. I also want to take a second and recognize your outstanding academic Senate President, Maria Jose Zelendon Perez, and your classified Senate President, Sean Ryan. Let's give them a round of applause. And I'm not sure if he's with us today, but we have a new student trustee, Diego Bethia. Diego, we'd like to give you a shout out as well. Thank you for being here and thank everyone else for being here as well. Convocation 2022 at City College. I'd also like to recognize my partner in crime at the district, from AFT Local 1931, President Jim Mailer. From me, from the entire Board of Trustees and members of Cabinet, I want to thank all of the employees for their diligence and dedication, especially during the pandemic over the past couple of years, as we've been working steadfast in our efforts to reopen. When I applied for this position last summer, as part of my application process, I promoted what I call the 10-point plan, which were 10 areas that I intended to focus on during my tenure as chancellor. And I thought, as I'm concluding my first year and starting my second year in the role, it would be helpful for me to come back and give updates on the progress that we've made on these 10 points. And so I'll try to do so as succinctly as possible, because I believe that I'm standing in between this meeting and lunch after my colleague speaks, and I don't want to be that person. But the first was a commitment to shift the discourse in our district from equity to inclusion. You know, equity is about increasing opportunities, about ensuring that everybody has a chance, a shot at the end goal. Inclusion is the end goal. Inclusion means that everyone has a seat at the table. And I'm thrilled to see that all 4 of our colleges, our district, and even our state system have embraced language of inclusion, moving us beyond equity over the past year, and will continue to be the focus of the work that we do. The second was a charge, and led mostly by the faculty and the employees and students here at City College, around transformative models of policing. Our district has a registered police force, and I think most employees at City College know that 95+% of the incidents that our police force encounter are on this very campus. And they don't tend to be students and employees that are the source of those incidents. They tend to be transients who are making their way between uptown and downtown, often in search of the services that are available in those 2 areas of the city. That said, we have managed to take the task force that my predecessor created and to turn that task force into a standing police advisory committee. And Vice President John Parker of City College's very own is one of the co-chairs of that effort. And so I want to thank him publicly for his leadership in that regard. And this committee, now that has become a standing committee, has made some progress. First, worth noting is the police force will be purchasing, there's the process of purchasing tasers, which will allow them, when they have to encounter incidents with the public or incidents that require them to defend themselves or defend the people on our campuses, that they have a less lethal weapon that's available to them, which I think is an important step. And secondly, and even more importantly, we have identified the funding to start creating a transformative model of policing in our district, which will bring mental health professionals into our police force, into the peace unit, and to help them and assist them with mitigating the incidents that they have to deal with. We know that it's not necessarily the best approach to deploy the police in every circumstance. And by bringing mental health professionals into our police unit, that will allow us to be more deliberate in helping to intervene and act preemptively and provide individuals with the resources and supports they need so that those incidents don't continue to perpetuate themselves. The third point I made in my application forum for this position was to increase participation in concurrent enrollment. Dual enrollment programs, middle colleges and early colleges are wonderful opportunities to engage younger people in helping them to obtain credit units and start making progress towards degree completion while they're still in high school. And you all are probably aware you have a high school right here on your campus and 2 high schools that neighbor your campus. And so building those bridges is critical. But I was most thrilled this year to hear about the first student in our district's history that obtained 3 associate degrees and a high school diploma at the end of her senior year right here on City College campus. And that's an example of the great work that we're doing to expand concurrent enrollment programs. The fourth initiative I proposed was exploring the possibility of building housing for low-income students and low-income employees. And on that front, I'm thrilled to announce that City College, once again, is the pioneer in our district, securing an SB1 grant this past year in the amount of $340,000 to explore the possibility of converting the parcel of land that housed the old Child Development Center to build hundreds and hundreds of units to help provide our students with housing security so that they can complete their studies and continue on their career and academic development efforts. In addition to City College securing the significant grant, the district has secured 3 grants over the past 12 months, one from the Lucky Duck Foundation, a second from the San Diego Foundation, and a third from Funders Together to End Homelessness. And we've contracted with LaSalle Development in an effort to create a strategic housing development plan for our district. You know, our district has a significant asset that positions us to be uniquely valuable to the county and the city. Between the 7 College of Continuing Education campuses and the 3 credit colleges, we have 10 pieces of land around the city in an area where land is a premium. And so I'm very excited about the work and the opportunity that lies ahead. Lastly, on the housing point, Assemblymember Chris Ward, who represents this area, is carrying AB 1719, which would allow community college districts to build housing for low-income employees using federal tax dollars. We anticipate that legislation is going to make it over the hurdle, and that will give us an opportunity to start exploring how we can address the housing needs of employees who are finding it too difficult to afford to live in the communities where they serve and where they work. And so that's an exciting opportunity. 5th on the 10-point plan that I presented last year was a call to strengthen pathways between non-credit and credit. And the district, along with the College of Continuing Education, secured a grant from ACCT, the Association for Community College Trustees, and Dr. Tina King, the new president of the College of Continuing Education. Please stand, Tina. Is now going to take over from her predecessor, the interim president, Boger. And I'm thrilled to hear that City College is the key partner working with the College of Continuing Education, which is focused on building these pathways from non-credit to credit. Exciting work has been underway, but this exciting work is about to scale in the upcoming year. 6th, I made a commitment that we would focus on expanding 4-year degree opportunities. With the passage of legislation led by Chancellor Emeritus Constance Carroll last year, we now have made permanent the 15 baccalaureate pilot programs, one of which is at Mesa College, and expanded the number of baccalaureates that can now be provided across the state system. And each of our 3 colleges are pursuing additional 4-year degrees. In the first application, once again, our pioneering college, the first college in our district, City College, submitted an application for a 4-year degree in cybersecurity and is looking at other options as well. 7th, we made a commitment. I made a commitment at the beginning of the year that I would seek out alternative sources of funding. Just as we are all focused first and foremost on increasing enrollment, increasing productivity to maximize the funding we can secure from the state system, we also recognize that we want to do more and better for our students and employees, which means we need to identify other types of resources to support these efforts. And in the past year, we've secured over $50 million in federal and state government funding on top of what we're guaranteed from these entities to support those efforts. And I'm very excited about one grant secured here by the City College, which is a $5 million grant from the Department of Education for Latino students in STEM. And I'm really, really keenly interested in hearing the work that City College is doing, particularly around women of color in STEM in the upcoming year, and how this has become a key priority for your president and your faculty. 8th, we made a commitment to expand entrepreneurial education programs. There's been a lot of focus in the last couple of years with Strong Workforce about getting people into jobs. But many of us know in our efforts to hire people that the new generation is not interested in working the way that we work. The cubicle might be going away, and people are interested in remote working and flex working, and our students are interested in the gig economy, and many of them want to work for themselves. And we need to be able to empower and help our students when they go through our career technical education programs to also navigate the process of launching their own businesses. And City College has been a leader in this effort, and I'm excited to see where they're going to take this work next level. 9th, and I'm almost done here, was to make a commitment that we are going to offer the best forms of distance education and distant and remote student services. The reality is the pandemic has forever changed the trajectory of higher education in our country. Prior to the pandemic, we were about 17% online. Now we are more than 50% online, and our students are speaking with their enrollments. Now, I'm not saying we should be more than 50% online. I'm saying that's where we're at. But if we are going to offer programming online, I believe that that programming should be as good, if not better, than what we're able to do in person. Otherwise, it shouldn't be offered online. And I'm really excited about the leadership of our faculty, classified professionals, and counselors, and helping to build out state-of-the-art, robust distance education programming. And that process needs to continue moving forward. And then last, I made a commitment last year that if appointed chancellor, I would pursue every effort to enhance our district facilities and equipment. And to that end, this year, we secured a $35 million grant to renovate the theater at the Education Cultural Complex. We've also secured over $500,000 in planning dollars to explore housing development. But most exciting is we are committed to going out for a bond in 2024. City College has developed a very detailed and thoughtful facilities master plan, and that's going to allow us to refurbish technological equipment and make improvements to the theater and other facilities that have been long and waiting a facelift. And with that, that concludes my update on my 10 points. But I did want to give one last update is in the next couple of months, you should anticipate that the district will be going through a slight reorganization with new vice chancellors coming in and a new chancellor being here for a year. It gives us an opportunity to look at how we structure and deploy services to the 4 colleges. And with new people coming to the table with new strengths and new ideas, we have different ideas about how to best organize the district. And so I just want you to know that you can anticipate it probably won't impact you here on the ground. I know City College itself has some reorganization work that's underway, particularly around student services. And so this happens in educational institutions. I just wanted you to hear from me that the reason for this is I asked our vice chancellors to come together and say, if we were to build the ideal district, how would it be set up? You know, how can we maximize effectiveness and efficiencies? And those proposals are now going to take shape in the next several months so that we can better serve the colleges, the employees, and the students who make up City College. And with that, that concludes my remarks. I want to wish you a wonderful semester. Thank you again for all you do. And please don't forget to vote.
It's now my pleasure to introduce everyone who, someone who also everyone knows, and if you didn't know, actually is a member of the San Diego City College faculty on loan to the AFT, Jim.
Thank you, my boss, Ricky. Appreciate that. It's so great to see everybody in person. I am so happy to not have to do Convocation on Zoom again. So it's great to see everybody. Thank you. So a few quick remarks that I know the thing that you most want to hear from me is how's my paycheck going to increase and when? So the good news from the state budget is we're getting a 6.56% COLA this year, which is great. One of the largest COLAs we've received in quite some time. That will all, of course, flow through our resource allocation formula, and we'll be able to determine how much of that actually ends up in your pocket later this fall. Coupled with that, we're still under the student-centered funding formula. I'm sure most of you are somewhat aware of this Byzantine formula that funds our colleges these days. We're under the emergency conditions allocation version of it, which means that we get to use our FTES from 2019-20 in this year's calculation, which is also going to enhance the amount of revenue that we're going to see in the district. Unfortunately, that only lasts for 1 year. So we'll be back at the drawing table for the following year to see where we are there. But, you know, the roller coaster of student-centered funding formula and state funding continues on with its ups and downs, and we'll just have to do the best we can as that moves forward. In addition, other good news on the financial front is we were successful due to our advocacy efforts at the state level in securing $200 million to support the adjunct healthcare fund, which is huge. Those of you that don't follow these careful details,
statewide, that fund was a reimbursement fund at $490,000 for the entire state. We boosted that from 490,000 to 200 million, which is a huge increase. And for those of you that are math impaired, that's an increase of 408 times what that was, which is going to mean for our district, we're going to get most, if not all, of the $8.5 to $9 million that we spend each year on adjunct healthcare reimbursed to the district, which then frees up those funds for other needs. So that's a huge win for us. All of that good financial news. Yeah, let's have a round of applause on that. It's a good one. On the other side of the financial news, we also have increasing expenses that we have to contend with. So, the pandemic had a lot of medical costs associated with it, which the feds helped bail out, but that funding has now stopped. So we're hearing that the increases from the carriers are going to be in the neighborhood of 6% or above as of January. So that's not such great news, as well as PERS and STIRS continue to increase their costs on the district. And those are in the range of 11 to 13% as of this past July 1st. So that's an added financial burden that the district has to contend with as well. So good news on revenue, not so good news on expenses. Overall, once we work through all the numbers later in the fall, I think we're going to be able to have some type of a decent compensation increase coming our way, but we'll just have to stay tuned and see how those numbers all shake out in the fall. On the political front, as Carlos kind of alluded to about elections, we're fortunate that our 3 incumbent board members that are endorsed by us, Trustee Senior, Trustee Milgram, and Trustee Arroyo, none of them are facing opponents, which is great for us. It doesn't mean there aren't other elections we need to pay attention to and show up and vote for, though. So one thing that you all can do to help us is get everyone you know, your students, your family, your neighbors, your colleagues, everybody you can think of, make sure they're all not only registered to vote, but make sure they vote. Because the turnout last June, as you're all aware, was pretty pathetic. And we just can't have that continue in November and in future election cycles. So it's something that everyone can do, is increase the voter turnout by not only making sure you vote yourself, but everyone in your circle votes as well. And we'll be sending out information on that. So they say now that there's 3 political parties, right? The Republican Party, the Democratic Party, and the Anti-Democracy Party. So we need to make sure that the Anti-Democracy Party does not win. So we need to make sure everybody votes. Okay, so let's set a record here in November, at least what we can do locally. So that ties into my next remark. What can we all do to help move the bigger agenda forward? One thing that I'd like us to leave with the thought of is we all need to work on repurposing, reinventing, reestablishing our sense of community. And how we can do that is by events like this where we're meeting in person, right? So having more in-person meetings. I realize people think Zoom is the greatest thing ever and it's super convenient and they can stay in their pajamas in the basement. I get all of that, but it doesn't help us reestablish our community that we had going strong before the pandemic hit. So I would encourage all of you to have at least some of your department meetings in person where you have everybody get together and collaborate. You can find a safe space to do it like we've done today at City College and reestablish those community ties that we need to move ourselves forward. Also, I have a slightly different take on enrollment than our chancellor, not quite at odds with him, just a little bit of a different angle, is I really think we need to push more for in-person classes and have more face-to-face sections. And I know this will give the administrators a heart attack, but we really need to let the in-person classes with low enrollment numbers go because we're under hold harmless right now. We need to take advantage of that and we need to start building our FTES, even though our productivity may suffer. That's not how we're currently getting funded. So that's not going to be forever, but let's take advantage of that because the more students we can get on campus to take in-person classes is going to build that base for future semesters when we are going to be under the gun with respect to productivity, et cetera. So the more of those low enrolled classes that we can let go and not cancel. I understand the ones with 3 students don't make any sense, but the ones that are on the bubble, if you're not sure, let it run, right? Let's let the class run and let's help build our enrollment for future semesters. Thank you. And so even the chancellor and Tina King's applauding, so that's a good sign. And even Ricky is. I'll hear about it later, I'm sure. But the last thing about our sense of community and increasing our community is with respect to the union, right? Obviously, I'm biased on that, given that I'm the president of the union, but it is super important that we continue our community with respect to being union members and increasing our union membership. The pandemic has presented a lot of challenges for us over the last 3 years in terms of organizing. It's really hard to organize over the phone or on Zoom. It's much easier to do in person, but you all are the union, right? It's not just me and our small organizing department. It's all of you are the union, and the union is only as strong as you all want to make it to be. And you all know who the people are in your department who have been recently hired. You all know who the people are in your department that haven't had a chance to join yet. So you all need to help us get those people to sign a membership card or to go online and click the link and join, because the more members we have, the stronger we are as a union, and the more programs we can deliver successfully, like electing good board members who appoint a great chancellor, who ensure that we don't have layoffs, who protect adjunct faculty and their healthcare and their benefits and all those other things. All these things we've done through the pandemic wouldn't have been able to happen without good leadership at the district level, as well as programs AFT has put on. For example, the student loan forgiveness program. I would say it's safe to say, just on the anecdotal stories that I've heard, that in our district alone, or among our AFT membership alone, we've saved in the millions of dollars in student loan forgiveness among our members. It's been huge. And I know people that have been forgiven up to $100,000 in student loans, and people are getting checks in the mail, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 because of that program. And AFT's helped all of you navigate that process. Dr. Shabazz, is that you too? Dr. Shabazz as well, right? So those things don't happen without, President Biden as the president and AFT helping grease the wheels and make sure that that program came into being. So with that, I'll leave you because like Carlos said, I don't want to be between you and the food either. So I wish you all a great semester and keep the union strong, and best of luck to everybody. Thank you.
No, let's give another round of applause for our district leadership. Want to also acknowledge Margaret Lamb, the executive assistant to the chancellor. She makes all of this happen. Just want to reiterate a couple of things that Jim Mailer said. Marciano and I are working with the state to do a presentation for the loan forgiveness. It is real, folks. They forgave $94,000 of my graduate study loans. There are folks amongst us that have also had their loans forgiven. People who have been told no or denied, or who didn't get loans forgiven. So we're actually working on a workshop that we'll have on campus. Please attend if you have federal student loans. This might be a one-time opportunity, because the ability to appeal some of the payments, whether they were late or otherwise, that they may not have used prior, is ending in October. So we're working on a workshop on campus to address that. Also, we continue to do everything, and you all heard Jim Mailer, for all of you who are trying to convert these low enrolled classes to online, keep them on the ground right here at San Diego City College. With that said, we will convene to the lunch, which is down in front of the cafeteria. Again, thank you all for being here. Look forward to connecting with you all over lunch. For those who are on Zoom, come on down. There's still time to get some lunch.